Hi everybody, welcome to week 2. I wanted to introduce you to chapter 3. We've skipped chapter 2 for now, we will pick it up later. Chapter 3 I thought was a good thing to cover right here at the beginning of the semester because it's so important for us to think about ourselves, because the way that we view ourselves affects the way that we communicate with others, and in turn affects the way that they communicate with us. And so chapters 1 and 3 I thought went together really well to start this class off. I'm showing you on the screen the PowerPoint for chapter 3 because I wanted to make sure that you guys are using those as a way of refreshing for the chapters, but don't use those, of course, as the only way of getting information out of the chapters. You want to make sure that you're reading the chapters really carefully, and there are, of course, lots of examples for these concepts, but the PowerPoints are a great way to review. Now, these are the textbook publisher PowerPoints, but I do edit those and add things to them along the way. For example, you will see in this week, the textbook gives us information like, of course, the terminology and the definitions of self-concept and self-esteem, for example, and the fact that they're defining significant others in a little bit different way. We think of significant others as being like spouses and things like that, but they're really thinking of it in terms of the people that we feel are important to us, the people that are influential in putting evaluations upon us. So it could be, for example, maybe you had an elementary school teacher or a Sunday school teacher that that person's judgment or evaluation of you was really important to you and affected, your opinion of yourself. And you'll see that on one of the slides I put in a film clip for you to watch for the way back. It's a coming of age film, and if you get an opportunity to see the whole movie, it's a great movie with Steve Carell, but he is a bad guy in this one, I gotta tell you. He is the main character's mom's boyfriend, and so like it or not, this young boy is in a position where this guy is a significant other in his life. This is his mom's boyfriend, so his opinion of him matters. Unfortunately, this guy is not really very kind. For example, right at the beginning of this trailer, he says, "Duncan, how do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? And the boy says, "I don't know, probably about a 6. And he goes, "I think you're about a 3. And so that tells you right off the bat that, this guy is really somewhat involved in this boy having a low self-esteem. And so you can see how, some of these things kind of play off of one another, that because we have this mirroring of the judgments of those around us, this reflected appraisal, then that affects our self-concepts and our self-esteem. So watch those video clips that I put in here, and it'll really help you to kind of visualize what it is that these terms are talking about. And I think that that will help you to remember what these terms are referring to when it comes test time as well. All right, so take a look at those PowerPoints. I think that they help. Take a look at the video clips and have some fun with the assignments this week. I also wanted to point out to you that I did in course tools from your course menu. If you look in the student resources folder, I added an attachment called reading retention strategies because I know sometimes people go, "I read it, but I just don't remember what I read." And so there are a lot of tips in there for you to try that may help you to be more successful in remembering what you have read. So I encourage you to check that out, especially because we are going to be testing over the first 2 chapters next week. The other thing that I would point out about course tools is that there is in the discussion board right at the top a forum called Do You Have Any Questions? And you can actually hit the subscribe button. I've already done that, so it's giving me the option to unsubscribe. But you can hit the subscribe button, and that way you can see whenever anyone puts anything into that forum. And so I encourage you guys to talk to each other in there. For example, if you find a concept in the chapter that's really challenging to you and say, does anybody know really what this means, or does anybody have an example of this, or I'm really not understanding this, then you can talk to each other. And I have subscribed to that forum too, so I can get in there and answer questions. And so make that be a way for you to have a freer discussion than the discussion board prompts that I am giving you. Okay. So that's just a little bit about chapter 3 this week and why it's important. Next week, we will be wrapping up those 2 chapters and having a unit test. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and email me. Have a great week and see you again soon.